Welcome to Big Brother NSFW, and tonight joining us to talk all about Memphis's evictions, you've got myself, Karen, and Johnny as always, and joining us on the phone is Donny Thompson, America's favorite from BB16. Donnie, how are you?
Hey there, I'm doing pretty good. How about y'all?
Yeah, enjoying some Big Brother.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty good, yeah.
What are your thoughts on this season coming into it?
Well, I was excited. I look at Twitter from time to time, and I see all the speculations, and they started throwing all in house guests with Derek and Dan and all those, and I was like, oh, this could be exciting. And then you get Cody and Nicole, and I'm still fairly excited. And then once it came on, I started seeing what takes place. I'm like, boy, this is a smorgasbord, but it's majority third place, second place, and first place. So they truly are all stars, with a few exceptions. But
go ahead and throw out your few exceptions, Donnie. Feel free to tell us how you really feel.
Well, I mean that they're making a TV show, and everything is understandable. I'm sure they contacted a lot of people. We got a worldwide pandemic here, and there's probably some wonderful people that would have loved and done it that chose not to, for reasons, can you imagine how, if someone got an outbreak and something happened, how, they'd feel horrible. So, family members back home, you don't have no contact, grandparents, parents, uncles and stuff. So leaving kids back home, that would mess everything up psychologically in your head, even if it's a game that messes with you anyway. So, I couldn't have done it. So I don't see how they're doing it, but I'm glad they are, because I ain't got a whole lot to watch on TV nowadays. I was watching Below Deck Mediterranean tonight, but I'll catch that next week.
Have you caught the show on Amazon, The World's Toughest Race, with the Eco Challenge?
I haven't. No. Oh. I ain't got a computer or the internet, so I miss out on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
On TV, there ain't nothing going on.
Well,
and there won't be nothing for a while.
Well, we're beginning coverage of the World's Toughest Race. Is that what's called, the World's Toughest Race, Zach?
Yeah, World's Toughest Race Eco Challenge Fiji.
Yeah, we're beginning coverage of that this week, and Zach is all in on this. Matt Bischoff is all in on this. I find it in between Survivor, and I think it's better than The Amazing Race, because my flaw with The Amazing Race is there's so much resetting that there's teams that would be so amazing that are handicapped. They're handicapped by the resetting, and I feel that the World's Toughest Race.
Fair. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like it's not as fair, because you could be doing so good and then get on the same plane with someone, and they don't start you off at equal times like on other shows. So.
Exactly. Well, World's Toughest Race subtracts that. However, I feel the story building they do is almost like early seasons of Survivor, in which so I feel it's the combination of the two. So I rank it in between Amazing Race and Survivor.
Wow. So is it on right now or fixing to come on?
It just released all 10 episodes, so you can watch it all on Amazon Prime right now.
Yeah.
Okay. What's it called? I'll have to tell my brother. He'll have to acquire it.
Yeah, World's Toughest Race. It's on Amazon. It's really good. As I said, I don't rank it as high as, because Matt Bischoff and Zach, they've been crying for the last 4 days. And,
oh man, it pulls my heartstrings.
Yeah,
I have yet to cry.
Yeah, I bet it's good. I enjoyed the circle that came on. Not as much as Survivor and Big Brother, but it gave me some reality television when there wasn't a whole lot else on.
Yeah, I have the circle like in the range of I have it. I find the circle is more in line with Big Brother. So I see. Yeah. So that's that. Let's talk Big Brother All Stars. Man, there are. It's. I I think this season started great. I mean, and I think we're continuing to go great. Like I feel that there's alliances across the board. There's big alliances, there's little alliances, there's lots of clusters of payers, which I like more than a dominant faction of like if you have a majority house alliance, that kind of kills the entire season, and I don't feel that we have that right now. Where are you at on that, Donnie?
Well, I mean, if you didn't watch it, you would have hated my season because there was an 8-person alliance. They had their household first, and then there was only 7 people, most of them recruits, so they had no idea. You couldn't warn them the bridge was out. So this season is not exactly that bad, but still, I think they've got a core group. I think they've got 6 with some little side alliances. It could potentially get that bad because it seems like the people that's in that big 6-person alliance is the competitors that wins the competition, like in my team. You got Memphis, who has won 3 competitions. Cody's won the first head of household, and now Christmas with that safety suite. That's 3 out of the 6. So they could start steamrolling it, and I hope not because it's not fun TV. No. I pull for underdogs. So the people I liked in the beginning, like when I seen the Codys and the Nicoles, I still love those people. They were for my season. But, I'm pulling more for Janelle and Kater because,
there it is.
I've watched all the Big Brother. So, that's back in my day. And then they're kind of on the bottom right now. So I'm kind of pulling for them. I like the underdogs because I was the underdog.
Yeah, I'm always in fear of the Big House Alliance. And I have to say, this pains me so much. I hate nothing worse. Johnny Fairplay, 2 weeks in a row. You were right. I was wrong. Memphis gave us a really solid HOH week. I thought he was going to come in and it was going to be Cody part 2. He's going to do the real easy stuff. Nothing entertaining is going to happen. Psych. Memphis has played so sloppy so far. This is fantastic. He's burying his allies and he's instead working with the people he's against. It's fantastic.
I saw something on Twitter from Reality Barbecue. I didn't write it down word for word, but it was basically there has to be a gas leak in the house. That's the only explanation for why these people are playing so poorly.
Well, poorly played Big Brother is excellently viewed Big Brother. Can we all agree on that?
Oh yeah. But I was not planning to hate watch All Stars as bad TV. That's not what I was expecting. And I'm still hoping that we're not going to get that. But I mean, like I said, a season that is, a shit show can be fun. But I don't know that I want that this season.
Yeah, I've always said, everybody says, I hate recruits. I hate recruits. I said, recruits is what makes awesome TV. Yep. Devin, Joey, all those people that never watched it before makes great TV. They said, well, man, we want diehard fans. I want 16 diehard fans. You will get the first third or the first half boring because everybody wants to lay low and let someone else do the dirty work. So it's going to be boring because they've all played before, or the most of them have.
Right, most of them.
Yeah. Donnie, if you had been out there, would you have played a guns blazing out of the chute type of game, or would you have laid low too? Because in fear, that just being a smart strategy.
I would have laid low. I would have been goofy. I would have told stories. I would have made friends with people I've never met before. Because out of all the places I've been, and I've been to a ton of these charity events, I've only met like 4 or 5 of these people. There's a lot of them that don't go to this. So I imagine to get this group, they really had to cull through a lot of people. And I'm not meaning they got culled through either by something not working out or not panning out with a coronavirus test. But, I imagine there was a lot more people asked before this group was put together. But yet, like I said, pretty good group. You got a 4th place, you got about a 3rd place, 2nd place, and a couple winners. So they did do a great job putting this cast together. Really did. So, I think it'll pick up. I think it's just a matter of time. You let someone on the other side of the house a Davon, a Bailey, a Janelle, a Kesar. You get them head of household next week, but you've got such a big alliance that puts pressure on them. Like my season, if someone not in the big alliance, they would like put enough pressure on them that they could control it. But I don't think they would with Davon and Janelle and Kesar.
No, you got some strong opinions there from those people. They're not going to be swayed by the big alliance.
Yeah, and for the fact we haven't seen Keisha could be a buyback because Janelle seems to be kind of in the hot seat the next few weeks. I don't think they would want to lose her, so why not keep a buyback if you need one?
Yeah, there was
pre-jury.
There was a moment where Keisha was asked on some exit press about some things she'd tweeted, and Keisha clearly had no idea what she'd been tweeting lately. Keisha's still in Sequester somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what she just went through, I think she would be online with us tweeting about how Memphis should have done all this stuff. I think she's sequestered somewhere, and they might not have a buyback. So say Janelle don't go pre-jury. Maybe they choose to do a buyback later. You know, I'm not saying rigged by no means. I'm just saying they have the capability of doing a pre-jury or a post-jury or none at all.
Well, Big Brother's always a show that like fan response really matters. There's fan votes on everything, and I don't have a problem with that. If they're going to say we're waiting till our favorites go out, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the fact that, you know, it's not like she's not being reintroduced to regular society. I mean, like, you know, I reached out to Keisha this week and I didn't hear anything back. and I know Keisha, and it's just like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, because normally in seasons pre-jury, you know, you'll go to the hotel that night. The next day they'll do some interviews. You're on a plane back home. And then if it's anything for COVID, if they had to like isolate you for a little while or do a test, it would only be a couple of days. It wouldn't be weeks.
And you know, rumor and innuendo is Keisha was a last minute addition to the cast. She does live in Los Angeles, is I think why she was one of potentially a last minute add on to the cast. And so her being in LA is just as easy for them to keep her in Sequester than it is anyone else on this cast.
100%. I agree. They're not putting a lot of investment in this potential buyback. If they want one, it's not a big investment.
Yeah. At least thus far. I mean, you know, if you know, let's say for argument's sake that, you know, David, you know, currently resides in Rio de Janeiro. LA's a lot easier.
Yeah. Well, if Nicole Anthony was to happen to go out this week and she's not podcasting in a few days, you know, they're sucked up somewhere because she does a little podcast. So I think she would get back at it.
That's what she does for a living. I mean, like that was like when I did when I came back for Fans versus Favorites on Survivor, Fans versus Favorites, they had in my contract, they're just like, you know, you can't do appearances, you can't, you know, do it. I'm just like, this is what I do for a living. I haven't had a job in 8 years. And so so I just took a black Sharpie, like not a little Sharpie, a huge Sharpie, and just Sharpied that entire section on my contract. And I sent it back, and they're like, "Hey, we have a problem with your contract." And I'm like, "Yeah, so did I." I'm like, "This is what I do."
Did they take it?
What's that?
Did you have to compromise there, or did they take it?
I was all right. So they agreed that I couldn't. We both agreed that I couldn't do anything from the second the show aired until my exit. So conveniently,
for there was 1 hour where you couldn't do appearances
for 58 minutes, and amazingly, I did an appearance at the W Hotel in New York, and also did Paul Heyman from WWE and ECW. I did a Heyman's Hustle during that time, so I did 2 appearances during that 1 hour that I was not allowed to do an appearance.
Johnny Fairplay will Johnny Fairplay.
Yes,
yeah.
it's tough. It's tough.
On the episode, we get a new twist that is revealed. That is, the have-nots are going to be selected by the previous have-nots. Donnie, what do you make of that?
I like that. I'm surprised I hadn't thought of it before. I'm tired of just, having people volunteer and put people on the spot. I like the competitions of old, but they ain't going to do that because they ain't got the time allotted for it. So I do like that. I just hope it ain't back and forth. Like you put me up last.
Yeah. Memphis puts on David. Yeah, Memphis puts up David. David puts up Memphis.
Yeah. I hope they spread the love out for everybody. Maybe say, you can't be it more than twice or something like that.
Yeah.
Or some people I never get the experience.
That being said, poor David. I think if he were to go back at Memphis, that's like the one where I'd be like, yeah, okay.
Oh yeah,
I'm cool with that one. But at the same time, I'm also cool with Memphis. Like, it's like, look, man, this is All Stars. Just be honest. You're a suspect All Star at best. You want to be an All Star? I'm allowing you to be an All Star, but you gotta play the game. And I'm letting you play the game. I'm gonna put you up. I'm gonna put you as a have not. Like, you endure that. Come back to me. Let's talk. Like, I mean, and I do have a problem. And I don't watch the live feeds. I don't know. Maybe that's the conversation that was had. But if David does those things and it comes back, like, I wish they had shown that follow-up statement. You do that and come back to me. We good.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he finished those that his decrees with "we good."
I'd be surprised.
I haven't heard anything like that.
Yeah,
that's all I can say.
Well, I mean, we really don't. The feeds was down when they done it, so all those live ceremony type things.
Yeah,
you get house guests kind of talking about it third-handedly. And they put their 2 cents in, and then production calls you down for it. So you never truly know, because that could have been something edited out.
Yeah. And then I think we're seeing the Memphis of old versus the Memphis that I've met in real life. Like, I mean, like, we were talking, on the first episode, when we did the podcast afterwards, I was talking with Zach and Karen, Donnie, and I was just like, I have Memphis as a lower tier all-star. In real life, I love the guy, and I think his social skills are amazing. I'm like, if the guy that I know is playing Big Brother, I'm all in, and I'm seeing that guy that I saw before.
Yeah. Season 10, he took the muscle car. The very first competition, they said whoever gets it is going first. He took the muscle car and he made it to final 2. So he's decent. I mean, he's really good. So, and then last night in the diary room, he said it 2 or 3 times. He said, "Yeah, I would like to revenge Dan." That seemed like such a fed line. He didn't even look like he enjoyed re-saying it, didn't he?
Well, was it ever Dan? It was always Dan Giesling. That was a little strange to call your friends by their last name like that. It was a little.
That's my friends call me by my last name. Zach.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
It just seemed a little. I don't think that's in the intentions of revenging Dan. I just think that since we got the whole Dan and Derek thing, and then you got the 2 second places to them in an alliance together, it's just something they kind of wanted to set up.
It's a good narrative. 2 of the people that are often debated as like best player of all time, we've got their like surrogates in here. It's a really good narrative for Big Brother to run with.
Absolutely. And then Julie Chen asked them on stage before they went in, who's the best 2. And then you got Cody just jumping all those things and Memphis laying on his face. It's like, okay, who is the best 2?
Yeah.
Who do you think are the best 2?
I have no idea.
Well, pick one.
You wouldn't know until they'd have to vote. They'd have to all participate. You couldn't get just one out of each group to say who's the best two.
Well, I can tell you, Donnie, the best two are Chilltown because I'm the unofficial third member of Chilltown.
Okay,
all right. Maybe in fourth at this point, or fifth.
See a replacement. They might need a replacement. You reckon?
I think there is
Chilltown, Donnie.
I think there is an opening in Chilltown.
I think so. You would make a good replacement, a good alternate.
All right, well, I'll call my good friend Dr. Will. I know how the protocol goes with conversation with Dr. Will based on other events that I've been following.
Well, the new have-nots are assigned. Again, I really dig this. I like whenever they give the contestants a lot of choice to control how their game's going to unfold and give them tough choices to make.
I like it also because for years I've been saying, like, why do we still have have-nots? Right, because it does not really seem to have a game mechanic, right? There's no competitions. Like you said, generally people just volunteer. So, I mean, I understand the idea about putting people under stress. You feed them slop. You don't let them sleep in a bed, that can make good TV. But the fact that now and anything that will stir up conflict, right, is a plus. And certainly forcing people, right, not allowing volunteers, saying, I'm going to force you to pick somebody to inflict this on them.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see next week now that they know it's coming because it kind of was sprung up this week as a surprise. Now they can start to think about this and strategize. But we moved to Memphis in his HOH, and his dominant strategy this week going up to nomination seems to be, I want to make everyone nervous as hell and tell them you better play in the safety suite competition.
Yes.
That was a smart idea.
I love it. I mean, 7 people use their safety suite for no reason because he was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, but I mean, it's smart because in the game of Big Brother, in the beginning, a lot of times it's not based off of game. It's like who is expendable, who I won't get no blood on their hands. Don't look like Kevin's got a bunch of alliance members. I'll throw Kevin up there. So it's not really game related. So he's giving himself a reason. They're giving him a reason. Man, if he suggests me do it and I don't do it, that may be the reason he puts me up, because in the beginning they give you some stupid, Donnie, I'm going to put you up. I really haven't talked to you. What kind of stupid reason is that? So I think he was a genius of thinking that. Maybe he didn't execute it as well, but hey, he told the little girl, I think you should try for it, and she didn't do it. He said, I put you up because of it. It was a good reason. You have to give a
Loved
reason.
it.
I think that was a good one.
Loved it. Loved it. I mean, I loved everyone using it. I loved the outliers so scared that they used it, and the ones that didn't, you had an out to work against them. I mean, I thought it was genius gameplay, and that's one of those, like, I think that's the guy I know, Memphis versus, the guy that we saw that, that Dan was possibly puppeting, earlier.
Yeah, it's a proactive move to set him up for next week.
It was very good, and he explained that they allowed him to explain it to us. The less people I have to go against, I could get safety and maybe save Cody or whatnot. But yeah, it was very smart. I liked it because, like in Survivor, I like when they have a competition that exposes alliance. Like when you shoot a tile and you shoot other people's tile, it exposes an alliance. This was kind of made to expose an alliance, and they counteracted it by actually having a couple people play. So they, production was probably trying to get some alliance exposed, which they countered it pretty well, and especially with Christmas picking someone outside the alliance. I like that.
Yeah, Memphis did not.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas winning and doing her little sachet, so proud of herself, and Memphis non-selling it on every fucking level possible made me so happy. She was like, huh? And he was like, yeah.
I still doubt he would have took the shot. I still doubt it. Because look at it last week. Keisha and Kevin were kind of expendables, probably alternates. David and Nicole are a little expendable compared to other people. So would he have went out on the line and put Ian up? I doubt. He might would have liked to thought he could have him for a backup, a back door, and she took that from him. But this early, I don't think he would have put Ian up because he's got too many. He's got Nicole that working with him, that would have leveraged it, pressured him. So he shouldn't be too mad.
No. I think he used it as an out to kind of put Christmas back in her place, and just like, hey, you don't get to make decisions like that. Maybe I do. And I think it was one of those like empowering replies on his part, and that might be from what I've seen on the show and what I've gathered through social media might be his detriment, that overpowering, empowering stance that he's using during his HOA.
Yeah,
what did he want her to do exactly? I mean, didn't they all agree that they wouldn't choose somebody from their alliance? Right, fine. So she picked somebody else. What is he so upset about? I really don't get it. Except that, like you said, he wanted to make the decision.
Well, no, I think Ian was a potential target. I think the safe bet was like Kevin. I think he wanted her to say Kevin. Like looking at everyone that's not in the alliance, so you're not outing the alliance. I think Kevin was probably the answer that he was looking for.
Yeah, Kevin might get like Victoria from my season. That they might just drag him to the end. Like if he don't win nothing, once you get past a couple, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, who's going to waste a head of household on him? When you got all these big targets.
I mean, are you liking Kevin? I didn't like Kevin going in, and I felt like he won me over a little bit on episode 2, and I think at this point I hate him.
I don't hate him. It's just he's getting that whiny edit.
Yeah.
They're probably only putting what he's given, but, I think he's a great guy. He gives great support to his peers. He probably feels on the out. Anytime you're the first nominee, it kind of breaks you down for a long time. So, he's not one of my favorites, but I don't hate him or anything, but I just don't
just hang
a household on him.
So I should just hang loose for a little bit and then see. I mean, because like when he was up for eviction, he didn't go. I wanted the wrath of Kevin. It's just like, hey, I'm out for blood, and he's just like, I'm willing to work with you. I'm like, all right, well, never mind.
Donnie, you'll be happy to hear this, though. I think that in Big Brother, the person who survives the first week eviction. And I'm not talking about somebody who's on the block and gets taken down or whatever, but they actually are up for the vote and they survive it. That person has never won the game.
All right. There we go. Did you know that, Donnie?
All right. Now repeat that one more time, because I may think
Donnie's from the South. It's
and now of course I'm wondering whether is this accurate, but I heard it from somebody that they know this game much better than I do. They said that so you got the 2 week one nominees, right? Obviously one person goes home. The other person who survives the block, that person has never won Big Brother.
Week 1, the first surviving person on the block has never won.
Kevin in this case would be, he would be the first to beat that curse.
Season 10, Dan Giesling and I think his name was David. He was the Navy guy. They were both on the block the first week, and the Navy guy went home and Dan won. I don't know if he was saved by veto. I can't remember that part, but I remember Dan was the first nominee along with the Navy guy.
I'll have to go check it out, and if I'm wrong, it wouldn't be the first time or the last time that I was wrong. I'm going to have to go check it because I don't remember.
I love it. Fucking Donnie Raymanning us.
That's why they thought he was like a secret genius, right? Like Mensa something. Yeah. I love it. Well, we go into the safety suite competition. This one's called Getting Tipsy. This was tailor-made for mixologist Memphis. But he doesn't need to
No. Memphis is not using his safety suite this week. If we've learned anything, it is for everyone else to use their safety suite but Memphis, even though he is the mixologist.
Yeah. And again, they all wait until the last minute to do it. And they're going to do it. I'm wondering how much that's editing because I don't know that Davon got her card in there in time by the clock they were giving us. But the show would like us to believe that they all waited until the last possible second to swipe to go in there. And we have David, Cody,
I'm cool with that, by the way,
and Davon all competing.
Yeah, I'm cool with the illusion that they all did it at the last second, and potentially they did.
Well, I mean, you've got the clock counting down in the living room, and you've got the door directly above it, so they've got to have a little bit of play. And plus those dinging bells in competition, that's only dinging on TV. It's not dinging in real life. Mm-hmm. You get an air horn, and then on TV it's ding. So, that featuring in on that dinging in probably didn't really happen. They probably swiped it and, there was a TV countdown and a TV ding.
Honestly, I think if Davon had not got it in time, that they wouldn't have allowed her. Because I think there's more drama there.
Yeah, well.
Because Memphis don't want no one not having a fucking safety suite next week if you learned anything from this week's episode.
Well, Donnie, speaking of sound effects, I think we got the first Christmas jingle bells on the nomination episode, which is.
I think they've been doing it all along. She just wasn't on the first couple episodes.
Yeah, the premiere she got one, and I think that's Sunday night is the first time since then.
Might be the first time we saw her since then.
It has been.
A lot of people never met. The first episode you only got one Cody done a diary room, the only person that done a diary room. The second episode you got people that never did diary room. So that like in my season, I'm rewatching a little bit of my season, and in the beginning there's some people that never make the TV show. You see Victoria on like episode 11, the guys are doing cat calls like, "Oh, look at you, who are you?" And then they go to the diary room and say, "Really, who are you?" Because she's not on the episodes.
There's always, or not always, but generally there's like one or two people like that in the house. And like you said, once you get past the second or third week, nobody can be bothered to, waste at HOH getting rid of them. So they're just there.
Yeah. It's like that in all reality shows. But, the people that last the longest, are going to be there later to get their footage. So you've got to get some of these people that's going home early, their footage.
Yeah, well, there's so many people playing in this safety suite competition, as we said. It opens up some interesting strategy questions that I'd love to hear your guys' reactions. Nicole Anthony is freaking out. She seems to fear that she's going to be targeted because she's putting off a vibe that she feels safe if she doesn't compete. I'm also thinking you look extra threatening because you're one of like a handful of people who can compete next week for the safety suite. So you're then challenging Cody and Memphis as the people who are holding on to their pass to play. What is the winning move here? Is it to hold back? Is it to go in once you see a large group of people competing in one of these twists?
Well, I feel like the way they've got it designed this year about doing the safety suite before the nominations, and then you're having when someone wins head of household, it's time to start kissing somebody else's butt. But he wins head of household. You need to start kissing his butt. You go up there thinking you're going to kiss it really good, and he says, I think you better play. Well, you know what that means? You better play because it's before the nomination. And then when you get that whole bunch of people, you know how many people it leaves them to nominate? Not very many. So I believe I like to save things and be safe later on. But if I don't make it the next week, I ain't going to win it next week.
Yeah, exactly. I do think Nicole made a mistake here. Especially, it wasn't just that he was saying to everybody, I want you to play. She said that, on the episode that she was not getting a good feeling from him. And given that she has this, possibility to save herself, she could need it next week, or next week, it could be Case or Janelle or somebody who would keep her safe. If you think you're in danger, play it.
Well, no, she says she has a gut feeling that she shouldn't play. However, there's a voice in the back of her head saying she should. That voice in the back of your head is your fucking gut.
Yeah,
And the
just play.
HOH Memphis, who's saying, play or I will put you up.
Yeah, well, there's that as well.
That's the most important. That's more than the gut right there. When you got to hit a household saying, I hadn't made my nominations yet, you should play.
Yeah, it's going to make
So,
next
David-
week complicated, though, when only so few of them can do it.
And so is that the end of the safety suite?
No, one more week.
So there's 2 more weeks of the safety suite.
So one more.
One more.
Next week.
Next week is the last of the safety. That's why I was at. Okay, so all right.
I only watched the TV shows, but I never heard them say 3 weeks in the beginning.
I didn't either.
On the website, I don't think it was on the TV show.
I don't think it was either.
I think
Because
it
my brother
was.
said, I
It
heard.
might have been. I'm too busy taking notes for a podcast.
Yeah, true.
Well, what did you guys think of the competition? They are balancing drinks on wobbly tables.
They were not real drinks.
You were correct. They were balancing like foam drinks on tables. Thank you.
They sounded real when they fell and broke.
They did sound real when they fell, which bothered me to no end. I'm just like, go fuck yourselves, guys.
I like that. I like that.
Did you?
We had one about the planets where you had to put planets up and you got to balance them and stuff. So they keeping things fresh by reusing things, but kind of keeping it fresh. I like that.
I'm cool with the challenge. I just hated the sound effects of actual glasses when we're looking at either wood or foam.
I mean, it's a silly show. I'm a maintenance man, and I told these grown men at work, I said, man, you got to watch your show. I was on it. I said, it's got some pretty ladies. They started watching it, and they said, man, they was riding bananas last night. I had to turn that off. So, this is a show we growed up and learned to love and playing in bubbles and eating crap and stuff like that. But to normal grown-ups, this is a crazy show.
Yeah, we don't have that problem.
To watch this crap.
Yeah, on Survivor we don't have that issue. But do you think that's the first banana Enzo's ever ridden?
He was getting into it.
I know.
Enzo had a couple good moments tonight. What was that conversation? He said, I wish I would have had my kids when I was in high school.
In high school. My brother talked about that today. I was like, that was great. Cody says, I'm 29. I want to have my kids in my 30s. He said, he was like lifting weights and just said, yeah, I wish I'd have had my kids in high school. I could do partying with them or something like that.
Yeah, I'm with him. I have a 3-year-old right now, and holy moly, do I wish I had a 3-year-old. Well, not in high school, but well, actually, if Teen Mom whatever was around, and they could have been footing the bill, then yes. But no, I think 20s is pretty solid on easily raising a kid versus 40s. Ooh. I peek behind the curtain. I have a 12-year-old Piper and a 3-year-old Madeline. And Piper, I just renovated the basement, and she just got like new furniture and all that in her basement. And there's a dresser, and there's a drawer that's not right. And we wrote a letter to or sent an email. She's like, hey, and they're like, send a picture, we'll fix it. Blah blah blah. And so Madeline, the only person on that side of the room was Madeline, my 3-year-old, and she pulls out the drawer, and it's hanging, from where it doesn't belong. And I go, Madeline, did you just pull the drawer out? She goes, nope. And I go, are you sure? Because you're the only one over there. She goes, maybe you did it.
She's a fair play.
I go, Madeline, you're not in trouble. Do not lie. Just tell me the truth. And she goes, I think you did it. And I'm like, there we go.
A fair play.
I have an official fair play.
At least she didn't say grandma done it.
Well, grandma's dead. How could she?
Is her grandma dead?
No, her grandma. Every grandma I know is still alive, Donnie. I can't lose a grandma. Do you know how many inheritance I need to pay off this house, and none of them are coming through?
TMZ has been waiting for that shit for years.
I get a call bi-monthly, Donnie. It never happens.
Well, Christmas pulls out the victory. She and Ian struck a deal before the safety suite competition. I thought this was pretty wise of Ian. Christmas seemed like a good candidate to strike a deal with out of this crew. And Christmas,
and it seemed, real quick, Zach, it seemed like a throwaway line by Ian. Like, I don't think Ian was, just like, let me figure out who I need to go to, blah, blah, blah. I think it's just one of those just random conversations he threw. It's just like, hey, I think she struck up the conversation like, hey, I'm, because she's so proud of herself to get back in the game and actually play a competition. And
I think that was her first competition win that wasn't thrown to her. So.
Yeah. And so she was all in, and she was just like, I'm playing. And he's like, hey, so if you win, and she's like, wow, I haven't thought about that, but you're the only one that's asked because I'm so amped about this. This is really good timing on your part.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of like Survivor reward challenges where someone like is like, ooh, I accidentally made a deal to take everyone on my tribe on this reward if I win. And then they actually win. And they're like, I don't know which deal to honor. That Ian might have gone up to multiple people to try to do this.
Yeah, he probably did. And they just,
but I don't think Christmas did.
Right.
Yeah, it was a very good edit. It made for good television because when he asked, would you use it on me? And she said, yeah, I would consider it. And he says, well, I have nothing to give you. So I was assuming he wasn't playing, but he did play. I wonder why he didn't say, if I win, I'll give it to you. But he didn't say that.
Well, because Ian is not exactly a beast, especially compared to somebody like Christmas. So, I mean, he could say, oh, I'll take you. But she'd be like, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I don't think he was offering it. I think he sees how low Christmas is on the totem pole, and he's just like, I'm not offering that in response.
Yeah, and see, the first comp they said was like memorization of the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. He might thought it would be like a puzzle or memory where he would be good at it. So it looked like he would say, "Hey, if I win, I'll give you the safety." But he didn't say that. That made for even better TV.
Yeah, no. As I said, I think Christmas is so low on the food chain. He's just like, I'm not wasting giving this back. However, she wants to give it to me. Great, because she's trying to up her stock.
Yeah. Johnny, you talk about her being on. Sorry, my next question. Good. You keep talking about Christmas being low on the food chain, but I mean, she does seem to be. I'm not sure what's going to happen with this alliance of 6 that has coalesced around Memphis, but she is part of it.
She is, yeah, but I feel like she's the lower part of it.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Well, that's true. Yeah, but in terms of in the house, I don't think she's on the bottom.
Yeah. Just on this alliance. I think
on that alliance, she's definitely on the bottom. Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Fracture. Fracture turns your digital images into beautiful glass prints. That's right, they print your photos directly on glass, transforming your memories into handcrafted, frameless prints. Like this one, the one behind me, I have the Survivor NSFW logo with me, Matt, and Zach. Oh my God, it's the coolest thing. I'm so excited to have this in my life. Zach, tell us more about Fracture.
Yeah, Fracture helps you focus on the moments that matter most by turning your favorite memories into beautiful glass prints like that one. Fracture prints directly on really durable glass that has soft edges for safe handling. The prints come in multiple sizes and there's no frame required at all to mount it on the wall. And each print comes with a 100% happiness guarantee. That means if for any reason you don't love your print, Fracture is going to make it right. The glass prints also make unique gifts for your friends and family that they'll never forget. Johnny, can you tell them how they can save?
Yeah, but before I do, I received this huge box with my Fracture print in it. At the bottom, there's even a screw to go into the wall. These guys are ready for this. Like, it's no additional mounting. There's none of that. This thing is ready to rock and roll. And boom, Fracture prints look incredible. You really have to see it to believe it. Upload your photo at fractureme.com/survivor to print your photo on glass today. And we have a special deal, and here's what we got. Go to fractureme.com. That's fractureme.com/survivor. Enter promo code survivor, and you get 20% off your order.
That's fractureme.com/survivor with promo code survivor, and you save 20% off your Fracture glass print. We thank Fracture for sponsoring this episode of Survivor NSFW.
Guys, remember the days when you were always ready to go? Oh man, do I. I've been taking 4 or 5 Blue Chews just to get up in the morning. I use it Remember when what's it called on a bike, the kickstand?
Mhm.
I have my own kickstand thanks to Blue Chew. Thanks, guys. Well, you at home can increase your performance and get the extra confidence in bed just like me. Listen up. Blue Chew, BlueChew.com. That's blue like the color blue.
Blue Chew brings you guys the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so you know they work. You can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach. And since they're chewable, they work up to twice as fast as a pill, so you can be ready whenever an opportunity arises. If you could benefit from extra function and more confidence where it counts in the wiener area, Blue Chew is a fast and easy way to enhance your performance. And Blue Chew is prescribed online, shipped straight to your door in a discreet package, so no in-person doctor visits, no waiting in the pharmacy, and best of all, no more awkwardness.
They're made in the USA, and since Blue Chew prepares and ships direct, they're cheaper than a pharmacy. Right now, we've got a special deal for our listeners. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first shipment free when you use our promo code SURVIVOR. Just pay $5 shipping. Again, that's BlueChew.com, promo code SURVIVOR, and you can try it completely for free. Just pay for shipping. Blue Chew's the better, cheaper, fastest choice, and we thank them for sponsoring the podcast.
Man, these guys are great. BlueChew.com. It's kind of like a hurt Peter. They're hard to beat.
Yeah, that's another thing I love about this alliance, though. If we were saying Memphis's HOH is like shaking up a dominant big alliance, these people are acting very self-interested for being in
No. I don't think like our biggest worry was the Big House Alliance. I don't think that's the case. I think there is an alliance. However, I just think there's lots of pairs, and I think those pairs will. I think we're gonna see like. I'm not that adept at Big Brother as I am at Survivor. However, I do feel in the later seasons of Survivor, we saw what's called voting blocks or fluid voting on Survivor. And I think we're seeing voting blocks of pairs in Big Brother. If it hasn't happened before, it's definitely gonna decide this game of Big Brother.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think that we're also seeing these people really again, shift and be self-interested in a way that I don't know how much of an alliance I really buy when those things come to push and shove. Like Memphis didn't seem like he was ready to compromise on Kaser and Janelle this week. That didn't really seem on the table for him. So when those,
I feel like Memphis was tighter with Kaser and Janelle than the 6-person alliance.
Exactly. And it's an alliance that's like founded on let's never be seen talking to each other. Let's not meet. Let's not play in comps together. Let's
screw up your game.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want, the one big alliance kind of game. But I'm going to go on record right here. I don't think. I mean, like you said, it might survive as 3 pairs of 2. But, they've been talking for days, and they still haven't even figured out a name. So this is something that happened on the feeds, but it is in no way a spoiler. So I'm just going to say it now. There have been different conversations about it.
Should we hold on real quick, Karen? We're 44 minutes in. Can we go spoiler from here?
Yeah, I think are there other things we want to discuss, Zach?
We just need to get to nominations.
Yeah. So just real quick, since I've already interrupted everybody.
Sure.
So they're having this conversation. They're talking about, and levels, and Christmas is talking. She's like, level 6, somebody used that. And Tyler's like, yeah, that was me. So I'm not good at telling jokes, but yeah. So
they tried to use the exact same name that already existed?
No, I think she knew that it had been used. Right, because it is a 6-person alliance. They're coming out with different ideas about sixes, and so she said, "Yeah, like it's some. Yeah, I remember in some season they used level 6, and Tyler is like, yeah, that was me."
Yeah, she probably didn't even watch last season.
Apparently not.
Doing yoga.
Well, Karen, one other thing that's not really a spoiler. Do we know what Ian's punishment is? Since he is the
Yes. So seems to be some kind of like a big robot costume. I'm not completely clear. I have not been able to watch enough feeds to really confirm what it was, but it's a huge robot costume, and people are being woken up in the middle of the night. That's all I got.
Great.
Yeah, he's got a quote from like Shakespeare or some type of form, to kind of wake people up. We've seen it before.
Yeah, kind of like that Haley that had
Shakespeare. Yeah, it's something like that, but I can't tell you more than that.
Yeah, I don't know what he's got a quote, or it could be something like Battlestar Galactica, but he's got to put his outfit on all during the night, and probably back to back, and it would annoy me to death because it would wake me up, and I hate to be woke up.
Yeah,
I love the fact that you guys are confusing Shakespeare and Battlestar Galactica.
I was gonna say, I hope it's Battlestar Galactica. That's awesome. You can wake me up with that any day.
Beat Spears, Battlestar Galactica.
Well, we get to the nominations, and Memphis seemed to have been considering about half the house, but he lands on, as we said, Nicole, Anthony, and David are our two nominees. Pretty straightforward, Nicole. You didn't listen to him. You're on the block. And then David, I don't know if his goal is to embarrass him here. He says, welcome to the grown-ups table.
I'm cool with that line.
Yeah, I think it's all right. Like at Christmas time, you got all the little kids that sits around this little table, and you got the adult table, and they are considered all-stars because some of them played 2 and 3 and 4 times, and he has never even had a vote until last week. I don't.
And ask Janelle how to vote.
Yeah, he had a vote last week.
Yeah, no, he asked Janelle how to vote. He had never done it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's confession, or there's live feed video of him asking how to vote.
Yeah, this is the thing that bugs me about him, is that even then, when he went home on 22 or on 21, he didn't bother to watch the season.
Yeah.
Right. I don't love the fact that he's a first boot and they're calling it All Stars, but the fact that, like I said, he doesn't watch his season. At some point, obviously, they get in touch with him. Do you want to come back? He still doesn't watch his season.
Yeah.
They were quarantined for 2 weeks. What was he doing?
That's wild to me.
Yeah. So that is what really soured me on David. Before that, I was completely in on it. Even though I wouldn't call it.
As far as the grown-up table line, like I did a challenge on Survivor Pro Islands. Once we got to individual immunity, as soon as we had the merge, we had individual immunity. There's a challenge, the Barnacle Challenge, where we had to swim underneath this thing. It was pretty freaking hardcore, and I made it to the final round. And I'm looking around me, and I just see studs on each. There's Rupert and Burton and just studs, and then me. And so, you have to do 5 laps, and I do 2 and sit down. And Jeff goes, "Are you really sitting down, Johnny Fairplay?" And I go, "Jeff, I'm just happy to be sitting at the grown-ups table." That's it. So anyone that takes the grown-ups table line as a diss, go fuck yourself. Sitting at the grown-ups table is a fucking compliment. I've been there, done that.
No, I just think Memphis, he came across really aggressive this whole episode, like at every point. When last week he was so chill and he seemed so approachable, and now he gets HOH and he's coming at everybody.
Yeah, where are you at on the grown-ups table line, Donnie?
Yeah, I don't hate it. I kind of like it. Like I said, they feel like they're all stars, and most people deserve it. And they just thought, he had, he got out night 1 and got to live in the house for like 4 more weeks, and so he probably feels like he should earn a little bit of it. That's how he feels. I don't, and it could have motivated him, to win the veto. It could motivate him.
Well, spoiler,
or
we're into feed spoilers.
Or wear less skinny jeans. All right. I have a question. They're not skinny jeans. Let me take that back. Does he use a spray can to spray on his pants that he wears? Because
I've never noticed.
I haven't noticed that either.
You will going forward, I assure you.
Okay.
All right. Is it spoiler time, Zach?
I think we're in spoiler time as we're talking
Okay.
about the POV winner.
Okay.
So, Karen, if you would like to tell us what's been going on the live feeds that we may have missed if we're just watching the CBS broadcast.
So I think there's a fair chance that we are going to see on Wednesday, a montage of old man Memphis. There's a lot of that. Memphis is 37 years old, okay, but he feels like my grandfather. And part of it is, kind of like the old timey sayings, right? Like the same thing, but when Michelle Fitzgerald does it, it's like, clearly that, she's hanging around with her grandfather. I think in this case, Memphis is the grandfather, right? So it's a combination of being way too old for being 37. I mean, like I said, I'm probably old enough to be Memphis's mother, and I'm not that old. And also just, you're talking about his social skills. I mean, that might be what he's like in real life, but in the game, it does seem like, talk about HOH-itis. He seems to think that he can just go around alienating people, even in his own alliance, right? He will not tell anybody what he's thinking. And so then we get to the veto. I can't tell you exactly what it was, but it's something with a lot of upper body strength. Clearly something that, a woman would not normally win. And there's been a whole uproar about that. But Memphis wins the veto. Now, who is Memphis's target? We don't know because he won't tell anybody. I mean,
including his alliance, right? He will not.
Yeah. No. I'm talking about, Cody, right? The people that he's close to. Now, it's possible. Is it possible that he just threw two people up and he truly doesn't care? But I'm assuming he has a preference, right? So clearly things look bad for Nicole Anthony, right? There has been a lot of crying. She has PTSD, basically, I think, because, it's not about she's making bad reads. Basically, Nicole seems to think that Janelle is targeting her when, in fact, Janelle is doing everything she can to save her. So what happened, as best as I can piece this together, there was a conversation, I guess a day or so before Memphis won. So late last week, Wednesday, Thursday, Janelle and Kaser told Nicole that they had Memphis. Okay. And then Nicole Anthony gets nominated. So I would look at that situation and say, oh, I guess they didn't have Memphis. That's not where Nicole's mind went. She said, they put him, I'm putting my words into her mouth, but she seems to think that they must have put him up to it, right? This whole idea that they don't really have Memphis has literally never crossed her mind. And I'm talking about the PTSD. I think this is the thing, and Johnny, I can talk to you about this. I don't know the circumstances why you didn't play All Stars Survivor, back to back with Pearl Islands, but this is why it's a bad idea. Yeah. She's still too close to this game. She's just, she saw one sign that maybe, the cool kids are, in her mind, ganging up on her, and she's right back in that house. All the cool kids are ganging up on her, and she's doing a lot of crying. And that's not how you save yourself on Big Brother.
Yeah, no, time away helps. I mean, there's what I consider game wisdom. And taking a step back helps. I mean, I don't know if I was asked or not when they called me to see how I was doing after Pro Islands. I think was hey, would you like to play again? And my reply was, I'm doing great. I'm at $1 million lake house. Life is good. I'm not thinking about this game. I'm gaining weight, that this is where I'm at. And, maybe that question was, that I didn't hear was, hey, are you ready to play again? And my answer was none of those things. And if I had heard that question explicitly, maybe I would have answered differently, but I'm kind of glad I didn't. And the reason I feel that way is I saw Rupert literally 2 days after he came back from All Stars, which was right after Pro Islands. And I saw a shell of a man that I knew as Rupert. I mean, Rupert was literally my size when I saw him, 2 days after All Stars. And we did New York Comic Con together. And I was just like, because heaven forbid you miss a fucking payday. And I was just like, you look like shit. He goes, it was a bad fucking idea. Fair play. Arg. It was a bad idea. I had to fix my Rupert impression.
and I'm sure it's hard to say no, and especially for somebody like Nicole Anthony, where if a few years go by, nobody's thinking about her anymore. So I understand the decision to come back.
And it's been a long time since they did All Stars. It might not come around ever again.
That's what I'm saying. I don't blame her for doing it, but I am not surprised that she's reacting this way.
Where are you at, Donnie?
Well, I agree with y'all. She was America's favorite, and since
not 5 million votes, America's favorite, Donnie.
Well, she still was that season's America's favorite.
All right, just want to get props where they were due.
I appreciate it. She rode that wave, and then when they asked this soon, it's almost like, well, I don't want to let my fans down. They voted for me, they loved me. I don't want to let them down. So I can kind of understand why she did do it. She's a super fan. She loves it. She's making a living at it right now. It was just something she probably was like, everybody loved me. I'm going back for redemption. And so I can see why she done it, but I can also see how it affects you. Oh, it's rough. I mean, like day 2, crying because you miss your brother. Day 30, you don't never think of your family no more. You're just like running scenarios. It is so awful. And then you throw slop in. I was on the block 8 times. I had to pack, do the stupid speeches, and it's rough.
It's a mind fuck.
Yeah, the Geneva Convention. I don't think we can treat prisoners of war like they treat people on Survivor and Big Brother.
Yeah. So, but having said all that, it is not at all clear to me that Nicole is necessarily going home. I think she is, but so her idea to save herself, and this is cringy, but it almost could have worked. She was threatening to call a house meeting and expose Janelle and Kesar. And the reason that might have worked is that if Memphis, Cody et al. Knew that she's actually going to target them, and they keep saying that, they're very much into, Janelle's a big threat, Janelle is not in their group, so that maybe they would save her. On the other hand, if the whole thing is about, she's going to target Janelle and Kesar, newsflash, he could target them right now by, not using the veto and putting somebody like Janelle up now, but he doesn't seem to have any interest in that. And the other...
And real hard not to win America's favorite again, isn't she?
Yeah. But again, you have to separate, I feel like, the player from the person. I'm still a fan of her as a person. And I think, and even, my fandom of her in 21 was much more about just like the way that she was handling things, rather than, I never thought that, she's the most amazing Big Brother player I've ever seen. Another thing just to keep an eye on in terms of David fighting to stay, I feel like his best hope, rather than just, everybody's tired of Nicole crying, it seems that Tyler has picked David up as somebody he can use. And I think he will fight fairly hard to save David. So I'm wondering, could David be his Casey? Because remember, Tyler thought he was coming into the game and Casey was going to be there. And the first week, he was really kind of at loose ends. But he seems to have pulled it together. And he needs a number 2, who will take orders from him. And David could be that person.
He seems similarly reliable. I could see that.
Yeah.
He could definitely pull out some comp wins. He seems like an athletic guy. Yeah.
I do like David. If I had a button at home and could pick, I would probably pick to save David. But, there is the thing. Everybody runs all these scenarios. The girls has to think, we're going to be down 2 girls. So, there's all kinds of thoughts. And right now, with a boy being head of household and a boy being on the block, it's pretty even. They can keep it boy-girl, Mm-hmm. There's so many things they think about. So many. It's just sickening how many scenarios you lay and think of at night.
Right. And I just want to say right now, it shouldn't be necessary to say this, but I'm going to say it. Please do not cyberbully Nicole when she gets out of the house. because obviously this is going to have been rough on her, and it's fine. You can criticize her gameplay, right? I'm very happy to criticize her gameplay, but that's very different from personal attacks.
What about the other Nicole? Can we go after her?
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So another thing that happened on the feeds, and I did not sit through the entire 30 minutes of this because I have a life and I couldn't. But supposedly she spent half an hour whining that she invited Janelle to her wedding, and why is Janelle doing this to her?
I'm surprised Nicole Franzel only whined for 30 minutes about that. That's pretty good.
It was 30 minutes in one, one. It doesn't mean that she'll never whine before that or after that.
Yeah. Donnie, you're a big Nicole fan, right?
Yeah, I love Nicole. She was on my season, yeah.
Okay.
I was glad she won. Yeah.
She got your vote?
I would pull. No, Cody got my vote.
Okay, I just want to clarify that. I want to.
Yeah.
Donnie, what was it that made you vote for Cody over Derek?
Well, I could tell you a lie in a heartbeat, but it was on my brain. And golly, we ain't got a lot of time, but I want to cut to you as fast as I can. Yes. I wanted reassurance when I got out. So the first thing I asked my girlfriend when I seen her, give her a big old hug, I said, "Do you know why I voted for Cody?" She said, "Yes, you told him you would." When I got home, that didn't mean as much to me as what my brother would say, because we've watched every episode of Big Brother. So I got home, I said, "Do you really understand why I voted for Cody?" He said, "I knew you would." He says, "There was twice you told him that you'd vote for him if you're setting it in." And I did. And I can remember exactly one of the times we was laying on that couch in the backyard. He always would call me Don and Sir. He was so well-mannered. And I said, "You know what? You're trying to buy your, first, you don't want to be the first evicted. You want to get the jury, and then you want to go to the end." And it was in the beginning of the game, and I was like, you're such a great guy. If I make it to jury and you make it to the end, I'll give you my vote. And then during the finale, I had two keys. I got to ask Cody a question. I said, why do you think you deserve my vote? And he said, or why do you think you should win over Derek? He gave me the rigmarole, like, I come out there, hang out with guys, shoot pool, I'd get the information, I'd give it to Derek. I'm thinking, I put Derek Key on top. I was going to vote for Derek. Julie Chen got the heat hauling around. She might have went for a commercial. So I got to thinking about that thing. I was like, I got to live with this the rest of my life. I know who's going to win because I was in the jury with him. Derek is going to win 100%. I said, but I got to live with my vote. What am I going to feel like 10 years from now? I told Cody, if he's sitting in the final two, I will vote for him. So she wasted enough time that I voted for him. And I'm glad I did. I wouldn't take it back. It's been 6 years later, and I'm glad I did.
That's an incredible live moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that's exactly what happened. And people ask me on Twitter all the time. I can't put that in 140 characters.
No. Well, you can't if you type really eloquently.
Lord, they asked me that a lot, in 6 years, especially the first year. Why didn't you seem like such a smart guy, Donnie? Why didn't you vote for Derek? He burnt me. We was Team America. Of course he burnt me. Maybe I could have burnt him back. I asked production, I said, once I'm voted out, can I say anything I want to say? They said, sure. What do you want to say? I said, I'm going to, hug everybody, and I'm going to say, Derek, you're getting my vote. I'm working the jury for you. So, they call me to the diet room and they say, hey, Donnie, where are you going to be when you say this? We want to get the sound bite and all this good stuff. I said, well, I thought about it. My family will be watching me and his family will be watching him. And I'm not going to do it. Once I'm voted out, I'm not going to try to affect anybody else's game. So I didn't do it. Would it have mattered? Probably not. But I respected the fact that, he got me. Of course he got me. He had plenty of help. Mm-hmm. He probably didn't even need the help, but he had plenty of help.
There you go. All right. But before we let you go and before we wrap up, 2 questions for you, Donnie. Who's going home and who do you think's going to win?
I just kind of think that Nicole Anthony will go home. I don't see how she could pull it out. I really don't. It could surprise me. If she don't go home, it's going to be good TV. If she does go home, it's going to be good TV. I don't like one or the other any better. I just want some good TV. Who do I think will win? Now,
Okay, who do you think and who do you want? Sorry.
Okay, I hadn't even thought that far. Early, right before the season started, I would have said I want Cody to win. But, there's numerous people I would want to win. There's numerous people I wouldn't want to win. Cody could be one of them. If somehow Memphis can granddaddy his way to the end, why wouldn't he deserve to win? Janelle, everybody would welcome her as a winner. So I don't know. Will we get a Christmas win? I don't think so.
I don't either.
I hadn't really thought about it that good. I really hadn't. It's too early.
Okay.
I don't think there's everybody that's ever won a buyback to go and win, right? I don't think so.
I can't think of anybody.
Well, if they gave Kaser 8 chances, he might.
I don't think that'll be.
Does it, or
He
no?
should have made it the jury.
8 or 9 chances and Kaser wins.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see someone like a Davon get to the end and winning. I could see someone saying, Ian don't stand a chance. He's already won. The Sandra effect.
Yeah.
No one's going to vote for Ian to win twice. I could see him laying low and winning those smart competitions at the end and winning again.
There you go.
Would it hurt my feelings? It wouldn't. So I don't have one that I really want to win, and I hadn't thought that far. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
Very diplomatic, Donnie.
Yes, very, very diplomatic for a guy that's obviously looking to play again and not trying to burn any bridge whatsoever. We got it, Donnie. We understand.
I would love to play again. I would love it. I know I would be much older. I would get in there and I would beg them so I could shave this blame beard off. Then everybody could see what I look like. I asked them about like third week in the house, can I shave my beard off? It's so hot out here. They said, no, Donnie, not right now. We'll get back to you. When did they get back to me? The finale night. Oh, we want to set up Survivor and want you to shave your beard. And I'm like, I can't. The Bold and the Beautiful wants me to look like Donnie from Big Brother, not some, Harvard professor. They want me to be that grungy looking camouflage dude. So they just, kind of teased it. Is Donnie going to shave his beard tonight? So I would love to play again. I really would.
Well, I'd like to work out something with Manscaped with you, Donnie, and let's see if we can. I might have a sponsorship for you. We'll see what we can do.
Okay, all right.
There we go. COVID will end soon enough, or not.
Hey, like if the coronavirus don't end, they might have to do another one next year.
There you go.
Yeah.
Bring back returning players, or they could have back-to-back seasons like over like OTT. I mean, reality TV's where it's at. To make edited TV shows, you have to get all this footage and it has to edit and do all this crap, and it might not come on to next fall. But you can run out a bunch of reality TV like this, and it's cheap. You already got the house.
There you go.
Yeah, if they don't have anything else to put in prime time, this could be either an extremely long season or, like you said, another season like in the spring.
Yeah. Back to, like not even spring,
Right when it ends.
winter.
Yeah.
Winter Big Brother. Winter Survivor in the Big Brother house.
Yeah. I'm telling you guys, let me pitch this for you. MTV has got a great thing going. They had the Real World that phased out, but I loved it. It's what got me interested in reality TV. They had the Real World, the Road Rules. They made the Challenge. The Challenge is some of the great TV that's ever been on there. Right up there below Survivor and right there with Big Brother. It's great.
I'm with you there.
Dropping the ball. They are dropping the ball. CBS should be taking their Survivor players and their Big Brother players and making some type of competition. It could be the Amazing Race as long as it's got Big Brother alumni and Survivor. Fans love to see returnees. Love it to death.
They do.
I don't know why that it would be such a cheap show. Primetime Fox, they make bank off these reality shows, and they're just dropping the ball.
I had another idea. They already cast Survivor 41, right? Take those people, put them in the Big Brother house. Why not?
Yeah, I would watch it. Take Big Brother and put them on Survivor.
Well, hey, let's not ruin Survivor.
Yeah. Take Survivor versus Big Brother and put them either one. It don't matter.
No. There's a difference, Donnie. Please stop.
Well, they've done that with Amazing Race, and the top 3 teams were Amazing Race.
Go figure.
Yeah, the guys that played the show were the best at the show. It's so weird.
Well, Donnie, thank you for joining us to talk about what's going on in the Big Brother house. It was great to hear from you and great to hear your thoughts on the season. We really appreciate it.
I do appreciate it. It was great talking to you guys.
Thank you, Donnie. Hey, go to sleep so you can go to work.
Man, I got to get up at 5:30. I got to mow a lot of grass tomorrow, but I do appreciate it. It was great talking Big Brother, and I just love it to death.
All right. We love you too, Donnie. Thank you.
Thank you,
All right,
Donnie.
thanks, guys. Y'all
Okay.
have a good night. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Well, that's it, folks. Thanks for listening to Big Brother NSFW. We had a blast getting Donnie on the phone. That was the first time I have brought someone in on a cell phone onto our StreamYard broadcast. So that was a really cool experiment. It worked out flawlessly.
Yeah, you Memphis did.
That's what we're calling it now.
I'm here for words. So anyone that enjoys the podcast, please subscribe on YouTube and Apple Podcasts. But the best ways to support the podcast is to go to adfreeNSFW.com, become a patron. There's all kinds of awesome tiers that you get awesome stuff, including I got in the sticker pack, the sticker pack tier. I have a Big Brother Survivor NSFW or Big Brother NSFW sticker now being added to the tier for the September tier incentives. So please give that a look and a try. That's adfreeNSFW.com. The picture, we usually have 4 autographed 4x6s of different survivors. The September picture is an autographed 8x10 of me, Johnny Fairplay, in my pink underwear. People have been asking for it. They've been begging for it. It's finally happening. You're getting an autographed 8x10 of me, Johnny Fairplay, in my pink underwear for the Outcast tier on adfreeNSFW.com. And if you haven't caught along the way the Survivor NSFW Rewind with Professor Tim and our own Karen Eisenberg, we had the finale episode of Survivor Borneo watch along, watch after, I guess, with me, Johnny Fairplay. But this week we have the one and only, the Godfather. Tell him who it is, Karen.
We have Richard Hatch tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern on YouTube or in your favorite podcast app. And yes, I am nervous, but I'm also very excited.
So am I.
That's going to be epic.
Yes. So thank you, everyone. And thank you, Donnie. I'm glad he got to join us and join us this coming week after the eviction and the new head of household, either late Thursday night or Friday morning. You will be enjoying an episode with Cyrus from MTV's The Real World. He has been watching Big Brother. He's all in. And next Monday, which will be dropping Tuesday morning, we will be joined by James Ryan. Of
Going all in on BB6 and 7.
Well, I mean, I do what I can.
Love it. Hey.
I reach out to the people that I know, and I don't know that many people. So I keep my circle close. You know what? Donnie likes the circle. I like the circle. I like my friends close. Just like my
He's closer. Right?
Yes, there we go.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, and good night.
Summer's here. It's crazy hot outside. We all know that you should drink more water. And by the time you feel thirsty, it's too late. You're already dehydrated. You can't focus and you feel tired.
Drinking enough water is critical for a healthy lifestyle. It increases your brain power and boosts your productivity. It prevents headaches and increases your total focus. Not only that, it improves your skin and mood. It helps your digestion and it gives you energy. It prevents bad breath and can even help you lose weight.
Holy moly, this is the dating cure of if I've ever heard of one. But how much water should you drink each day? 10 cups, a gallon? The good news is it doesn't have to be that complicated. And that's why I start my day with Hydrant, because Hydrant helps you hydrate faster.
What is Hydrant? Well, they've created a refreshing electrolyte powder that you mix directly into water to more efficiently and effectively hydrate your body. It hydrates you quickly and keeps you going for longer.
Each rapid hydration mix has the 4 essential electrolytes your body needs: sodium, potassium, magnesium, and zinc. And it packs a punch to help your body hydrate fast and stay hydrated.
And if you're looking for that extra boost of energy, there's also Hydrant Plus Caffeine, which contains 100 milligrams of caffeine, all from green tea.
And Hydrant is backed by research. The formula was developed by an Oxford scientist. It's also loved by pro athletes like yourself, Johnny Fairplay. Oh yeah, did I mention first place in the men's masters in my last 10K? That's right, thanks to Hydrant. Top performers, celebrities, as in thousands of 5-star reviews.
It's made with real fruit juice powder. It's delicious and refreshing and comes in a wide variety of flavors, including new summer-friendly iced tea lemonade and fruit punch.
I'm loving the fruit punch, but I go back to the blood orange. That's my favorite. And winning a 10K thanks to Hydrant is all the proof I need.
Not only that, though, it's also backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. So if you don't love it, send it back for a full refund.
You really need to try it for yourself to see what I'm talking about. It tastes incredible and it works.
Hydrant starts at just $1 a packet for a 30-day supply, and you can save even more with a monthly subscription. But Johnny, tell them what kind of special offers we've got for them.
We got a special deal for our listeners right now. Save 25% off your first order. Huge, 25%. Go to drinkhydrant.com/survivor and enter our promo code survivor at checkout.
That's drinkhydrant.com/survivor and enter promo code survivor for 25% off your first order.
drinkhydrant.com/survivor, enter promo code survivor and save 25%. And we thank them for sponsoring the Survivor NSFW podcast.